Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Tachi Queen, you are Curtis, a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do they motivate.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another week of the livest media tech and pop culture show in the land, in my opinion. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, which is why we're getting on so late, but we are super happy to be here. In case you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and we have a guest today. I'm super excited about that. We've had guests for the past few weeks, and this week is no different. Forgot, before we go on, the person behind this is MC Curtis. Hey, Curtis.
Hey, what's up?
How are you? I have to be obligatory and ask. How are you?
I appreciate that. I'm doing well.
Okay, I'm glad. So let me welcome everybody. What happened?
I said I'm liking your hair. It looks nice.
Okay, thank you. Don't try and butter me up, MC. And we have our guest here, one of the audience members, Cheryl Woods. What's up, Cheryl? How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. And folks are coming in and streaming in. Remember, if you have any questions for our guest or you just want to make comments, you know how we do here at MediaScope. Make sure you make comments. So without any further ado, MC, was there anything else you wanted to say before we get it going?
I sure am thirsty, but ready to move forward with the interview.
You deserveth not a drink, not a drop, nothing. So you'll just have to be thirsty backstage. How about that?
I'm gonna have to talk to the union on this one.
Oh, that's fine. This is not a union set, so it doesn't matter. You are not union, so you'll get nothing from them. But try as you may. So anyway. And Cheryl says she's very good. All right, folks. Well, without any further ado, we're going to get to our guest. If you love music, if you love inspirational music, if you love gospel music, this is going to be the guest for you. We have of the Cross family, Angela Cross, with us today. So after this, she will be with us. Oh, Miss Angela, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you guys?
Oh, fantastic. So, you know what we forgot to say is that this is actually a rescheduled interview because of the bad storms that we had 2 weeks ago that led to a lot of flooding in Fort Lauderdale. And you actually are in Fort Lauderdale, correct?
Yes, I am. I am in Fort Lauderdale.
How did you fare with the flooding?
We got a little bad flooding over here, but it dried up, thank God. But it was
right.
a mess. It was a mess.
No, it was really raining hard that day, and I remember you came on, and there were, you had some issues, but yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was until I was like, "There's flooding," because it really wasn't as bad over here, but
yeah.
But thank goodness you are good and you all are safe. So let's get to it. First of all, thank you so much for coming on. Introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about what you do.
I am Angela Cross of the Cross family, the second lead of the Cross family. You know, my brother Eugene, he is the actual leader. And I just love what I do. I'm a quartet girl. Quartet for life, daddy's girl. I'm a mama's girl too, but all of the above. However, I love music. It's just soothing to my soul in different trying times, should I say. I can adhere to a song or two, and to try to ease whatever I'm going through. But I love music.
Wow. And so the Cross family is actually, how many of you, you all are brothers and sisters, or at least your family, how
Yes.
many are there in the group?
In the group, including the band, I would say 10, because it's my
Wow.
brothers, you know what I mean, the singers, and then my brother plays the bass. So it's about it should be probably about 9 to 10. I can't, I get a little nervous at these settings, but I think about 9 to 10.
9 to 10, yeah, give or take one member, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So, what wonderful. So, tell us a little bit more about the type. Well, before we talk about the type of music, the types of songs you sing, first of all, I got introduced to you because you have a song that was playing on the radio station that we're in the Bahamas, Gospel 107.1 FM. And so we
Wow.
were happy to be connected with you so that you could come on the show. But tell us where the group started. This was, if I'm not mistaken, this was actually your father who started the group, correct?
Yes, he's the originator. He've always wanted us to actually sing as a family. Um, and then in his latter years, we just basically came together, and he did sing with us a couple times until he couldn't actually sing anymore, perform, to stand up. Um, dealing with his health issues and everything. So, he when he had us, he's always said his group was already formed, and we just went forth. And we're here from that point. Um, this is something, like I said, he always wanted. Like in tears, he would just like, listen, I need you guys to be together as a family. And he would always say, I'm telling you, this is what God wants. I want it, God wants it. So you guys need to go forth, and the doors are just open for you guys to do what you have to do. But I'm telling you, you guys will be good. So he put us out there. So to God be the glory.
Indeed, indeed. So, do you think there was some defining moment that led him to say to you all, I need you to be together as a group? And as you're saying that, I'm thinking, you remember in the movie Soul Food? And the final thing that she really wanted was for the family to get together
Yes, yes,
for dinner. Was it that
exactly.
type of thing?
It I would say, yeah, because my brothers, I know I can vouch for them. We would definitely say that, because I felt like before he initially leave, he wanted us to be together as we were family, but be together and join our voices and make it a family, you know, musical uh uh you know genre of a quartet,
Hmm.
because that's what daddy sung all over the world. He sung all over the world over 60 years. And
Really?
yes, he was he originated from a group called the Smiling Jubilaires that traveled and toured all over the world. When my brothers, they got up, they sung with him, they played with him. So he was always musically inclined, and it's just something that he always wanted us. Listen, daddy had different stipulations and different things. We would be in the living room rehearsing. We couldn't sleep with a fan. He would let us know, listen, how he would govern,
Wow.
let us know how to go about in this particular let's say industry, to be able to get there. So he paved the way for
Wow.
us, and we're just living the
Wow.
legacy,
Wow.
continuing
So,
it as well.
continuing the legacy, that's what that's about, and I'm sure he wanted his legacy to live on in
Yeah.
terms of music and faith, and you all are fulfilling that. But was there a point where any of you rebelled against that, where it's like, this is not what I want to do?
Yeah, well, like I said before, he's always wanted it. But before the Cross family, we were in different groups. We sing with this person and that person. I had my own group, another group. My brother it was the Cross Brothers, and everybody. I have our other brothers, our younger brothers. They're in like a worship type vibe. You know what I mean? Not quartet. It's not quartetish, but they know it. But it was a different. All of us was doing different things, and Daddy, he might say it sound good and he like it, but he know what he wanted. He wanted us to do it and do it together as a family.
Why didn't you do that before he said something? It's interesting because sometimes it takes an event for everybody to get back together sometimes. And you're here. As you said, you were all singing in different groups, but what prevented you from starting off together, or did you just not think about starting together as a group?
I think it's that we probably didn't think about it, and then we were, you coming up, and you get with these people, and it's like you meet people everywhere and say, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and so we just ventured out. We would do things together, but we had our own little separate entities of groups and stuff like that. So, but we had to do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we had to come together. It had to be done because Daddy's legacy is too. I know he's in heaven and he's walking around heaven on streets of gold and things of that nature, but here, he didn't get his due diligence. Like he's literally, like he was like a musical, like a genius, like
wow,
music that he have now. We're gonna be able to go and we're gonna be able to redo those his music, a lot of it.
Okay, so you're planning on actually remaking a lot of his music. Oh, did we lose? Oh, we did lose her. Oh, she's back.
I'm sorry, I don't know where I got her.
That happens. Look, technology happens. Today seems to be the day technology fails us, but we are not. We rebuke that.
That's right.
So I was asking. So going along this trajectory, it seems like this had to happen. That this was going to happen. And so now you have music, and it seems like you're going to be remaking some of the music.
Yes.
So are you re-recording it?
Yes, we definitely are. We have to. His music he has. I mean, it's like the old, you know what I mean? But we're trying to revamp everything. He has, I'm saying, music like my daddy was. He was very, very musically inclined, and he has some awesome, amazing songs that who wouldn't be a better person than us to redo them and sing them.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we go on, let me take a break and say, hey, everyone, welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're here 6 p.m. Wednesdays every week, just about. We do a pre-show on IG, and then we hop over here for the other fun. And today we have a guest. We have Angela Cross from the Cross family out of Fort Lauderdale, and they're carrying on their daddy's legacy, which is absolutely amazing. And they are artists in their own right. So last time we were going to have her brother with us, but today we have Angela. But Angela, you are enough. So that is great. We're happy to have you with us. Remember, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. If you have any questions for Angela or anything about the Cross family or the music industry, please put it in the chat because we would be happy to answer it. And now we are, actually, before we do that, let me say that Cheryl Wood said, that's beautiful, a father's wisdom, talking about your father. Serena Wills, in case you did not know, we have a food truck. Is it real? To us it is. It's actually an imaginary food truck, but we serve up emoji snacks for anybody who is interested. And There we go. That is the snack truck right now. So yeah, that's it. Welcome, Serena Wills. Thanks for being here. One of my favorite buys. And David Benjamin Eccles says, "Hey, MediaScope family, HU, you know, absolutely." Terry Knight Nixon is here. Hey, Terry, welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, D Carpio is joining us on the YouTube side. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And in honor of the late Harry Belafonte, who we lost yesterday, we have a Caribbean food special: curry chicken, rice and peas, cabbage with cola champagne. Buy a platter, get a free dessert. You're making me hungry as usual, Serena. Thank you. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, remember, feel free to ask questions, make comments. We love that here. Let's go on with our conversation. So, see, Miss Angela, let me say this. That's Curtis acting up. With the even when we have a gospel artist here, you still can't act right. You still can't act right. But we love Curtis nonetheless. So let me ask this, Miss Angela. Tell us what were the difficulties you faced being in the music industry, because even though we can look at the gospel entertainment and inspirational entertainment industry as separate, it still is one and the same. What are some difficulties and things that you faced being in the industry, and do you still face them now?
The difficulties that I would see in the era now is that gospel, a lot of times you have other groups and other people that they actually gravitate to competition, competing, not supporting one another but want support. I would look at it in that aspect. And when we all, we're singing and celebrating the same Father. And so it's so sometimes some of them, nowadays they pretty much try to say who's gonna be the best, who's gonna perform the best. They have some of them have a different outlook on it being a performance than rather than a changing life, changing of a life type of situation. Because anytime, I know my family, I can vouch for them, they're not here, but I'm here to say that, anytime that we are able to live the legacy that Daddy left us, then we're going to do just what he would do or would have done. And that's to just basically, if we can get someone, and if that one particular someone, amongst others, that can have a life-changing experience through what we're just sung about, then that's what, it wouldn't be in vain. It wouldn't be in vain.
Well, David Benjamin Eccles says the business side of the music business is real, including gospel. It still is a business, despite the fact of whatever you're singing about. Even children's music is a business. So it's all about business. And we have a question for you from Timothy Osborne. How long have you been singing? Because you all sound so good. That's a great question.
Yeah, Timothy. We've been singing since my youngest brother, he used to be on stages opening up, I think, like the Mighty Clouds of Joy. He was like three. He was like 3 years old. My other brothers, we were like little. We were like before 5 years old. And I'm telling you, Daddy would have us in the living room, and he would tell us how to learn, teaching this song. He would just have us in the living room, and our high school, not high school, but our school mates, classmates, they would call us like either the Bill Cosby family, and then they'll they'll talk about the Jackson 5. But Daddy wasn't like that per se, but he did have us. He orchestrated, So we were singing when we came up to know, to get them lyrics together. Daddy had us in line.
Wow, because he knew what he wanted for his children.
He knew. There you go. He knew what he wanted. So, like singers from the singers, I guess he wanted all us to sing because everybody can sing. But then, Mommy brought my brother that plays the bass a bass. He didn't know how to play a bass, So when she bought it, she knew God just blessed him. He anointed his hands. The drummer, my brother, he used to beat up everything. Everything. And from this point, he's an amazing drummer. So it's just, I mean, what God does is amazing. So if it's it's like it was already predestined. You know what I mean? So we brought it. So Daddy wanted it to come to fruition. So he was like, "Listen, my kids already know." So he had it. We listen to music all the time, gospel music.
Gospel music. And I was going to ask you about that. So John T. Ruffin says it's a ministry. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's funny because Daddy would say that same thing. It is a ministry. And that's how we classified it as a ministry. Because ministry, you gravitate to souls, a person being changed. They could be going through something. I'm even, with what I'm going through now with us, with our mom, just, so different songs, minister to me, whether I'm going to be okay.
Okay, we lost her again. She'll be back. You're back. You're back.
Whether I'm going to be okay with that song, or whether I'm going to shed some tears with, regardless, it's a ministry. Yeah.
It's a ministry. Indeed. We have another question from Cheryl Woods. Is the next generation of crosses showing an interest in the music like your children, nieces, and nephews?
Question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. My brother's kids, his daughter and son, they're amazing with music, singing. I noticed my kids sing. They tend to be a little shy. They not out forthcoming like us, but it's in them. So they're musically, like, some of them gonna play instruments and different things like that, So it's definitely, we always tell them that next generation.
So let me ask you this, because obviously gospel music inspirational music is at the heart of what you do. But if your children decided, I want to sing, but not necessarily gospel, how would you feel about that?
I mean, I would support them. You know what I mean? Because all music is music, as long as it's not crazy, because a lot of people make music and they can say some crazy things, but as long as it, it's still music is food to the soul or something, you know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
I think I would support it, because when they do that, they could do that, but they're gonna gravitate back, to home base, or well, the root.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And some of the best singers, of course, we know started off in the church, and then they have careers in secular music, and it could be just fine. And then they either add dashes of gospel or they return to gospel / inspirational music. So you never know what their path will be. So the fact that you're supportive, I think, is the key thing, and it's important.
Yeah.
So Serena says this: I have my go-to gospel songs when I'm going through something and I know I have to get it out. Songs for praise and songs for worship.
Absolutely.
And Shelly Shell asks this question: depending on what you're going through at the time, gospel music can be very emotional when you're singing. How do you handle the emotion when you're singing so you just don't break down completely?
I have to juggle it, because even that question, I'm a little choked up and got the little knot in my throat, because it's just the mere fact that when you think of the goodness of Jesus and everything that he's done, you know what I'm saying? That's so cliche, but no, that's the real deal. So as I'm singing and I minister to the people, I am ministering to myself. So my tears will flow. And if it get to a point to where I can't, listen, baby, the Holy Ghost, it'll I get a little running in my feet and a little clapping in my hand, but I'll come on back. But I may have to get that moment so I won't, gravitate. I won't go away from it, but I have to put it in at that time. I can't hold it in. I'm gonna cry. The tears gonna flow, and it's gonna, the Holy Spirit I just say let the Holy Spirit have his way in me when I go.
And Curtis played the amen.
I know that's right.
And that's actually whenever we greet the people, there are people watching on different platforms, and we'll greet them in a moment, but we have one specifically for Gospel 107 listeners, and it's that amen. So absolutely. So Dee also says, I had a friend that sang and the tears would just run down her face. So, and I think when it comes to, I think people understand. I think the audience understands, and they're not judging you or looking at you like, can you finish the song? They know that this music is supposed to evoke that kind of emotion. So it's okay. It's okay. And I think you don't want robots singing to you anyway. You want people that are going to feel the music and that it is actually heartfelt.
Right. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So I know we have just a few more things because I know that you have someplace that you need to be at 7.
That's
so we're
right.
going to, well, no, I want to be respectful of that. So I wanted to let you go, but I did want to ask a few other things. So here's the thing. We wanted to play the song, but we don't want to get dinged by doing it. And so that's what we were afraid of. And that's why we didn't play the song. But if the song that you have out now, that tell us the name of it and where people can go to listen or download it.
That song Walk All Over actually is on all digital platforms, anywhere. YouTube, you can find it everywhere. And we do have hard copies as well. And then we have live performances on singing it also on YouTube. And the Rough Boys music that Jonte Ruffin in the comments, he's the one that's responsible for that project there for us. So he's the one that Jonte Ruffin, he's over Rough Boys Music, and it's him and his family that orchestrated that Walk All Over, and so we're preparing for new music through him. So
wonderful. Okay. And by the way, let me apologize for mispronouncing your name. I said John T. It's Jonte Ruffin. And so, yeah, so I apologize. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. That's Boss Man. Fantastic. Yes, it is called Walk All Over, and you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on different streaming platforms. And we just didn't want to get shut down for playing it, so that's why we didn't play it. But we would have loved to do it. And so you got to thank you. And Timothy Osborne said, every time I hear the song, it brings tears to my eyes. And of course, yeah, no, it's beautiful. We got a copy of it from Gospel 107. And we were like, yeah, definitely. Let's have them on the show. Wow. So do you have any upcoming dates? Will you be performing that you could share with us?
We are actually, I don't know. I mean, just to speak on it, we just lost Mom, and so we went through that transition with her February 25th, and so now this coming Sunday will be our first time we are on I don't know, I forget what type of event it is, but we're out this Sunday afternoon, the 30th. And then I also have an interview myself again with WMBM in Miami, Victor Curry radio station.
Okay.
There. So we'll be coming back out on this Sunday coming. to sing in
And where
Pompano.
is
It's
the
in
event?
Pompano Beach.
In
It's in
Pompano. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's at that center on I know where you're talking about because they do like Sunday type of things. I know exactly what you're, and it's an outdoor thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. So if you find it, please send it to me and then we'll post it so anybody who is in the area can come and
I definitely
support.
will. I
Yeah,
definitely will.
absolutely. So let me let you go because I know that you have to race to where you're going to get, but I
Don't do
appreciate you
that.
coming on.
Listen, it's been what they say, a plump, pleasing pleasure of mine. I'm so excited. I was super excited, and I don't want this to be my last time. Maybe we can have everybody, and but I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for thinking of the Cross family. We're going through this transition without mom now. Now we have a legacy that's behind we're adhering to for mom and daddy. So we have a legacy that mom and daddy left us. So now we have to do what we have to do because they're looking down on us. So we have to, continue to make both of them proud. So that's what I do. So I've been honored to just be on this platform, and I'm grateful for you guys having us.
Wow. And we're honored to have you. Super honored to have you. And yes, maybe we'll try and get you all back where we have the almost the entire family back.
Yes. We'll love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Angela.
Thank you. You guys take care. So much love.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was fantastic. MC, are you still there?
I am.
That's unfortunate, but no, that's fortunate. I'm glad you. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Well, anyway, that was wonderful. Thank you so much again to Angela Cross for joining us this afternoon, and we'll have her back where we can have the entire family back and have a fuller interview. But that was great. That was a great start. That is part one of the interview. And so let me say what's up to everybody watching on all the platforms. We got to do the platform roll call now. If you are watching us on Bookface, thank you. Good to have you, Bookface. If you are either on my page or on the MediaScope page, if you are watching us on YouTube, the tubing of the U, it is good to have you here. Those of you that are twitching, because you're watching on Twitch, thank you for being here. We always love our Twitch family. If you are watching on LinkedIn, hi, I haven't seen any comments yet from you, but hopefully know that I am not addressing you. I just don't see anything over here, but thank you so much for joining in. And for those of you listening, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Gospel 107.1 FM in Nassau, Bahamas and the Caribbean. Amen. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't know about you. I feel
Bless.
like making a fist when you mentioned soul food. I feel like making a fist. That fist that when everybody comes together and just strikes it.
It can be a very heartfelt moment, and then in walks MC Curtis with his fist.
Well, you remember that.
Do you remember I do. Do you remember the exact line?
No, I don't, but I remember her taking her hand and folding each finger.
It became a mighty fist.
Yeah, it became a mighty fist.
Well, fist on, sir. Keep making your fists. So let's take some comments. Shelly Shell said that was amazing. Yeah, it was really great. I can't wait to have the rest of the family back. David Benjamin Echo says, great interview. Great interview. People are wishing condolences to our guests. Thank you so much. Hearts from Cheryl Woods and from D. Carpio. And Serena says this, I'm feeling really blessed by Miss Angela. So MC, you're allowed to get something from the food truck today. MC, that was your saving grace. I mean, speaking of saving grace.
I'm gonna have a sandwich too. Okay.
Did you eat the sandwich with your mighty fist?
I did.
I bet you did. Yes, D. Her name is Angela Cross, and the name of the group is called the Cross Family. And like I said, we wanted to play the song, but I'm afraid that YouTube or whatever would catch it, and there's a possibility they might not. But there's a possibility they might, and we didn't want to do that, especially when we had the guest on. But we'll see if there's a way to do something when they come back on. Definitely. All right, let's keep going because I do want to have some conversation. It's 7:00, but we had to start late because we did have some technical difficulties. I'm going to go a little bit longer. Is that okay with everyone? Like, I really care because I'm going to keep going, but that's okay. Somebody wants to say hello to you, MC.
Who might that be?
Mardi Gras Man.
I don't like Mardi Gras Man.
Why?
Because he's two-faced.
He doesn't like that statement.
Well, is that statement true?
No, he is not two-faced.
So why is he frowning now?
Because he doesn't like your comments, sir. He just happens to have different emotions. He came on happy to see you, and then you said you didn't like him, so he's not that happy now.
Well,
in fact, he's so unhappy that he lost his bell again. We'll see you later, Mardi Gras Man. Don't mind him.
Yeah, I think he's the reason why I got in trouble with Serena last time.
It's your fault. Mardi Gras Man wasn't here all the 10 million other times you got in trouble. That was you. Take responsibility, sir. That's all you. All you. Ernest Goodley is watching over. Speaking of Mardi Gras Man, Ernest Goodley is in New Orleans. He's watching over on the Facebook side. What's up, Ernest? Good to see you. And see, at least some people like him because Terry Knight says, "Hey, Mardi Gras Man."
Hey, wasn't it like a Damon Wayans played something like that? He had a plunger and a
Who?
Damon
Wayans?
Yeah, I think it's Damon Wayans. Yeah.
A plunger?
Yeah, he
what,
wore
in Living Color?
No. It was an actual movie. He wore a cape and he had a plunger, and he was some kind of superhero in the predominantly black neighborhood. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Your references are just interesting. Nope. Mardi Gras Man was in agreement about being banned from the food truck at the time. Has nothing to do with him. It's all you. All you. Okay, well, they say take my time because you're all in. Well, good. It's good to have an invested audience. That's what I'm talking about. Look who is here. You know who this is, MC. It's Antonio David Lyons, the artist himself. The one-man show that we ran for him, remember?
Oh, yes. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Antonio? How are you? Antonio, drop in the chat what you have coming up. Folks, if you don't know Antonio Lyons and you're not following him, you should. He is an amazing talent. He's an awesome musician. He has had roles in everything. And one of the things that you came on, not on this show, but something that I did before, you remember what we did with Nzinga when you were in the Book of Negroes. So, with Ingenue Ellis. So, but I know you've been quite busy since then. Tell us what you're up to. And she has a side eye for you, MC. And you guess what? I just thought about this. You know what's coming up now? These those comments. Look where they're from, MC.
I seen that. I was going to say something.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You don't want to jinx it.
I know, right? Wow,
anyway.
Good thing. Okay.
No, nobody was talking about Meteor Man, David.
Oh, you know what? I think that may have been what it was. Meteor Man. Meteor Man.
But
Yeah,
that wasn't Damon Wayans.
that wasn't. Oh, okay. Well, I know he had a
Meteor
plunger.
Man was Robert Townsend. And I don't think he had a plunger. Or
Okay, well,
did he
Damon
at
Wayans had a
first?
plunger.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. Antonio is off to Cuba to perform your one-man show. How awesome is that? That's amazing. And then Jawaru Gambian said, this is purely business. The union will be filing an unfair labor practice on behalf of Curtis. But we've already told you, sir, there
I
is no
know that's
union.
right. I know that's right. Thank you.
You can file all you like. Your complaints fall on silent ears because there's no union here. This is not a union set. And Antonio also has new music coming soon. Fantastic. Wow.
So,
I'm
would,
loving that.
does Antonio play music as well? He sing, or I've only known
Antonio
him.
is a poet.
Okay.
Do you also sing? Because we actually, his cousin and I did a documentary together, and we used Antonio's music. We
Okay.
licensed Antonio's music in it. And so it was a poem that he wrote over musicians. But do you also sing? Let me know. Fantastic. And it's going to be during the Havana International Poetry Festival. That's amazing. That's
That sounds like a
amazing.
lot of fun. Absolutely.
And Serena has a what you talking about, Willis moment here because saying who's siding with MC Curtis. Absolutely. That would be a one Jararu Gambian.
No,
So you
no.
are free to ban him from the food truck too, Serena. The two of them could be thirsty together. Let me sip my drink.
Man, that was
Nonsense.
quick. No mercy, huh?
None. Serena is watching you all with eyes of a hawk.
That was quick, man. I tell you.
We're doing great, Antonio. I can speak for me. MC, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Nice to see you.
Fantastic. Oh, okay. And Antonio has dropped his music link here. That is the link if you are interested in this. He actually is an amazing musician. I love it. And an actor, amazing. Antonio, I love you so much. You are absolutely amazing. And we can't wait to work with you again. So Serena says you're and this is probably for the both of you. Tell me who you're talking about. One step closer to being extra thirsty, no soup for you.
Why does it sound like you're instigating, Tachi?
I am not instigating. You all sat there and Serena's picking up. I can sit here and do nothing. All you have to do is just speak. You blamed Mardi Gras Man for your lack of access to the food truck when it was your own debauchery. Is that you being thirsty? And thirsty you will stay.
That's for that.
Anyway, as we wrap up, because that was a great thing, I do want to talk about this. I do want to talk about the fact that we talked about this a little bit on IG. Well, first of all, I don't have pictures, obviously, today because we had an interview, but let's rest well to Harry Belafonte. He was an amazing singer, actor, activist, human being, just all around wonderful. And the world is that much sadder because he is not here. So we wish you a Jamaica farewell. So he died yesterday at the age of 96, or at least it was reported yesterday that he passed away at the age of 96. He left a full life, but it is still very sad that you left us. He and Sidney Poitier now, we know two of the greats when it comes to acting. Absolutely. So wonderful. He indeed was the best. Rest well, Harry Belafonte. And yes, indeed, he was the best. And this is an interesting thing. So Kevin, my podcast partner, always says that I'm like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like if you name somebody, I'm somehow 6 degrees connected to them somehow. And so here's my sixth degree with Harry Belafonte. His niece lives here in South Florida in Boca Raton, and we are colleagues. Not we weren't at the same university, but we were on the multicultural division for the Broadcast Education Association. So we always go to NAB every year, in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Concurrently, and part of the same organization is Broadcast Education. So we are still both part of the multicultural division of the Broadcast Education Association. Her name is Denise Belafonte Young. So when I first met her, I was like, oh, like Harry Belafonte? She said, yes, that's my uncle. So she lost her uncle. So Denise, if you watch this, we're wishing you condolences. Even though he lived a full life, I know it's still hard. So that's my 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon to Harry Belafonte. I wish I knew him in life.
Yeah, he sounded like a really super great uncle and a super father, and just all around. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing. So Carlos Phoenix is here. No, I was not at NAB this year. Usually I was supposed to be, but I could not be this year. But tell us how you enjoyed it. He was all up in NAB, Carlos Phoenix. And Serena says, I met Harry Belafonte years ago. I have to find the picture with him. It's in a photo album. Beautiful spirit and so humble. A true servant, right? A true servant through music, through his activism. Just absolutely amazing. So speaking, so we were talking about NAB, but NABJ usually happens in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. So for those of you who don't know, NABJ is the National Association of Black Journalists. I have never gone because, I have to, if I'm paying for a conference, I need to count my my coins and go where I know it's going to be the most fruitful for what I need at that time. So that's what I suggest to you all. If you're looking at what conference do I go to, because there are 10 million, look at A, what am I going to get out of it? B, are there actionable steps that they're going to give me, or am I just sitting there to hear a bunch of people talk about their career, which is great, but at some point it's like, okay, I done heard you talk about your career enough. I need actionable steps. Okay. I need this. You do this, you do this, you do this. So if I'm paying for something, I don't need to sit and hear people talk niceties the whole time. If I want entertainment, I'll go to a concert. Does that make sense? So, and that's just me. But if you're wondering, how do I select between all the conferences that are, look at what the end result is. What do you get out of it? Are you going to get your money's worth? One time going to something where it's people sitting and talking about their experiences could be good. But if you do that every year, well, no wonder you can't progress, right? Because we need to learn as well. So think about actionable steps when it comes to things. So not that NABJ is not actionable steps, but I know what I'm going to get when I go to Vegas, right? So that's where I have the money. That's why I spend it. When I become a millionaire, then I go to all the other things, right? That's right. And Carlos launched a platform called Nexus at NAB. So congrats to you, my friend. And DiCarpio said, great interview. Thank you. Thank you for saying great interview. We appreciate you for being here. You all are diehard, and we love that you're diehard. All right. Well, it's 7:12, and I was trying to get us up to the hour. We got 2 minutes left to get us to 50 minutes because I don't want to be short. I want to get you at least to almost an hour. So let's keep talking. Rest well to Harry Belafonte. Also, we've got, I guess, some more rest wells in another way to Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson, because they have both been fired from their networks, respectively. Don Lemon from CNN, Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Hey, do you have any more information on Don Lemon in regards to why he was fired, or is that, did they give any specific reasons?
Well, so again, to me, the reason they gave that that last interview that he did with the GOP candidate,
Hmm.
where it got a little bit, but that's not even a reason. If that's the reason, that's not a reason, and that's
Right.
not necessarily the reason they gave. But it feels like all arrows are pointing to that's the reason that they
Gotcha.
gave. But it is not. That's not even a reason. They know his MO. They know what he does. That's what Don Lemon does. He gets loud and belligerent, and he's done that forever. To me, it feels like they were looking for something to get rid of him for.
Hmm.
But they didn't have to search very far because he has been, I don't want to say problematic. He's been interesting for years. So there was an incident where he yelled at his co-host,
Whoa.
and not on air, but after air, where he was very argumentative. Of course, we're going back to where he called Nikki Haley. Basically, he was like, "You don't matter," because he said that she was past her prime.
Oh,
And
wow.
basically, so he's made misogynistic comments before. And the thing is, and I said this on IG, but I'm going to say it here in a little bit differently. I think sometimes in some people's minds, that it's kind of the thing like where, let me not say it like this, but where people get in personal space
Hmm.
and they're like, oh, it's okay if I do that. I'm gay, or it's okay if I do that. Well, it's not okay. People don't always want people in their personal space, but sometimes there is the thought, and I'm not saying he's saying this, but sometimes there's the thought process that I can't be blank, prejudice, sexist, whatever, because I am a member of an underrepresented group. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. You
Interesting.
absolutely can have deplorable qualities and be a member of an underrepresented group. The two can exist in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Hmm.
So he had made some comment. He's made a lot of comments. He made a comment, and I was talking about this. According to, was it the Wall Street Journal? He had made some comments about men's soccer being more important than women's soccer. Basically, to sum it down, that of course, men's soccer players make more because men's soccer makes more money, and that people care more about men's soccer. Fallacy, but that's
Well,
what he said.
I mean, it could
Go ahead.
easily be disputed either way, right? It's not necessarily a fact, but it could be disputed either way.
What do you mean by disputed either way?
I mean, in regards to, like he said, it's more important. So, I mean, it's a matter of opinion. So it can be disputed. It's a matter of opinion.
It is a matter of opinion, but if you look at attendance, maybe it's slightly lower, but soccer fans are soccer fans, right?
Mm.
And so I think that historically, yes, maybe there is a little bit of that as the case, but the way it was said and the
Mm.
spirit in
I
which it
see.
was said, as if he believes that that is the
Gotcha.
case,
Gotcha.
that's where it's problematic. And
Mhm.
then the thing is, how do you know? You are not a sports anchor nor a sports
I know, right?
researcher. You live in a country that doesn't even really care about soccer. How are you even talking at this point? So, the thing is, halo effect. Just because you're an expert in one thing does not make you an expert in another thing. So, are we spreading rumors now? I'm going to say it, but according to David Benjamin Eccles, not
Interesting.
me, I heard a rumor they're making room for Gayle King. Now, here's the thing, but
Hmm.
Gayle King is going to be on. Oh gosh, I just saw this story today. She is going to be on with, who is it? She's getting a show with somebody else. So that could be pure rumor because there's already this thing, and I wish I could remember who the co-host is going to be. So Cheryl Wood said, which was great. Yeah, here's the thing. You can't just say anything and expect for nobody to say anything when it comes to these things. I think it was, you don't always have to talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that when you're in those kind of positions, you can, especially people of color, you're under a lot of, potentially under a lot of stress. And I say that because you're having to, uh, I'm only assuming, but just from there, be it a black woman or black man, but you have to sit there almost stoically and, but paying attention, having showing some kind of interest, and people who perhaps even oppose you, don't care about you, and you're having to listen to all this rhetoric over a period of time. And I think at some point, I'm thinking, because at some point you are just like, okay, look, you know, when is that day going to come to an end for me? In regards to where, look, I'm fed up with this stuff, and just that's kind of
And
how,
I'm not blaming him.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
exactly. Well, no, I
I'm
was just
not
saying,
blaming him.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not blaming him for being fed up with things,
Mhm.
and certainly the guest that he had on was off the mark and was spewing fallacies when it came to his facts about African Americans. So I have no problem with him correcting him. Was he very forceful when it came to that? Yes. Could he have handled it differently? Yes. Was I okay with the way he handled it? Yeah, obviously. But as a maybe for Don Lemon the man, but Don Lemon the journalist,
Right, right.
you don't always have to get into a fist fight with people to make the point. Guess what? People who are spewing wrong things, they will trip themselves up. You just need to come with your facts and, well,
But
according to such and such, this is the case, and let them trip themselves up.
but can it be difficult to keep that composure though? I mean, because the reality of it is he's still human. And to be in this space where people, and especially this, and I watched a short piece of the clip, but
Mm-hmm.
especially the way the guy was sharing his facts. He was sharing the facts, or his opinion, I should say. We don't know if there were facts, but he was giving his sharing this information. But and the way he was sharing it, he was sharing it in such a way where if you didn't know any better, you could have absolutely accepted it as fact. It's so
Well,
confident.
absolutely, yeah, confident, but you fools are confident too. That's
Sure,
why they
well,
walk into the
that's what I'm
fire with
saying.
confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
But two things. We cannot put that on one individual. This is the thing. People are like, well, you could easily, well, then you need to I'm going to say it. Stop being bamboozled and stop being foolish. Check at least three sources before you take something as fact. If you don't and you fall for things, I can't help you. Nobody can, neither can anybody else. There are
Right,
people that have been for years trying to tell you, well, do this. This is what media literacy is, but you still refuse to do it and you still post wrong things. For that, I can't help you. I
right,
can't. I'm
right,
only interested in helping people who are interested in the truth and who want help. You don't want help if you
right,
only want to, you just want to take what somebody said. You don't want help. You just want to know what somebody else said without doing the research yourself. Do the work. Look, to be learned and to know this stuff is work. It takes work. You have to do the work yourself. You can't just rely on other people to do it. You have to do it. And that's hard for some people. And so maybe they would have taken it as word, but we also have to remember he was on CNN. The CNN viewer is a little bit different than other
mm,
viewers of other stations. So I don't think there was a fear there because they came to his turf. All you have to do is let this individual trip himself up, which he will, and just present your facts. And here's the thing: I have no problem with him getting on him, at all, because I agree. You don't come and spew untruths, right, or misquote facts.
right,
But
right.
there's a way that you do where it's like, you fool. Don't you know that in 1959, such as, and then there's nothing they have to do. And I've seen this done before. It's a tactic that some journalists use, and they're like, well, okay, with the term woke, by the way. So there was somebody who was so anti the term woke that it's this, and
Mhm,
was
mhm.
on a journalist. And so the journalist said, well, what does woke mean? Well, okay, what tripped herself up.
I
And
think I've
all the
seen that.
journalists asked was, well, what does woke mean?
Yeah, I
Not
think I've seen that.
didn't get argumentative, didn't try to discredit. You discredit yourself. And so there's a trick with journalism. And my thing is, like, he's been in the game for 17 years.
Mm.
He should know this, but this is what he does. He's done this for a long time. He is problematic in some ways. In other ways, he's good. This was just a straw that broke the camel's back, but that was not a fireable offense. It was for all the barrage of other things. Go ahead.
So you think they just kind of just let him walk himself off the plank? Just kind of.
You mean Don Lemon? Yeah, probably, because they were like, oh, he's going to do something eventually, and here we go. Exactly, but it was a minor something. I'm like, you could have found wait for him to do something big. Okay, honestly, the Nikki Haley thing probably could have been it. Probably could have been it. But it's interesting that was not it for you. It's very interesting. Cheryl Wood says it shouldn't be difficult. He attacked. Yeah. Cheryl Wood said, I think it's supposed to be called the King Charles Late Night Show. Yes, thank you. With Charles Barkley. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Thank you for that, because I couldn't remember who it was.
Basketball player?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Former basketball player. Yeah.
Former basketball. Right.
Yeah. And David says that silence is an answer. It is. You don't always have to talk. Sometimes let the individual walk themselves off the plank themselves. You don't have to do anything. Right. And last thing, right, had Don been on a panel invite from Roland Martin, then what Don had said would be good. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that is the Roland Martin style of journalism. That's what he did. I'm sure it didn't fly at CNN. It didn't fly. It didn't fly at TV1, but that's what he does on his platform. And if that's what he wants to do, that's fine.
So is that why? Is that why Roland Martin's gone?
No. I'm not saying that. I don't remember if it was like contract disputes or some other things. I'm just saying that I'm sure that stopped, because he's been like that for a while. So I'm sure that didn't necessarily fly. And CNN is good at looking for ways to get people out that they're not necessarily pleased with, or they don't think plays the way they want to play. They'll find something. Hey, KG Michelle, how are you? My former Bison classmate, how are you? Good to see you. All right, so you know what? We're at 1 hour. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for everybody for coming today. Guess what? We have another guest this week. But let me say, before we get to that, let me say thank you to Miss Angela Cross from the Cross family. They are a gospel singing family. We're going to get them back when we can have more of them on. Maybe they'll sing something for us, and that way we won't get dinged, because they'll be singing for us. And all the great conversation that we had around these past two things, rest well, Harry Belafonte. Let's see what develops. By the way, both Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon have employed the same lawyer for this, because they're like, oh, we're going to get the ducats from the rest of our contract. I think Don Million is owed still $20 million left to his contract. It was supposed to be up in 2026, and there's $20 million left. So I know he's going to get that. Now with Megyn Kelly employed the same attorney and got her remaining $30 million, because she had like a $62 million contract for that time of her contract. They parted ways with her. She said, oh no, you're paying me the rest of my $30 million. And she did get it. So, and this lawyer has a track record of getting people. Same thing with Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union was employed him. So be afraid, CNN and Fox, be very afraid. And with that, we are going to hit it. Well, Tucker Carlson is not my favorite. I'm sure you all know that.
Yeah.
Don Lemon is not necessarily my favorite. So I'm into these days good journalism, people who do things nice and right, and it's not about show, it's not about ego, because it's not about you. The news is not about you, my dear. You simply happen to be the vessel through which the events of the day, the week, the month, the year come through. It is not about you. It is good if you can do it in a way that's entertaining and so that we can identify with you, but it shouldn't be about hate, Tucker. It shouldn't be about ego, Lemon Pepper Wings, as I was calling him. So, yeah, let's try and get back to some journalism that still has some entertainment, but it's about the news and it's about the audience. Remember that. Final words, MC.
Great show. Great show.
Well, Terry thought it was a great show too. I thought so as well. And thank you for saying it was a great interview. Shelly Shell says, beautiful show. Thank you so much. You know what? You guys are the reason that we do this. Were it not for you, wouldn't be on. Maybe I would be, but it's so much better because you all are here. I'd be maybe talking to myself, but you guys are here for that. I love you for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, all of this news and the interview with the Cross family, we are all exiting stage left. Oh, but before we go, next week we have we have another guest next week, and I'll tell you who that is next week. All right, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire.